What is going on, guys? Okay, we're going to be hopping into sustainable systems to create a more sustainable, healthy lifestyle. Because again, your habits do not rise to the level, or your habit, or your habits don't rise to the level of your goals. They fall to the level of your systems. So let me just pull this up here so I can see the comments that are going to be coming in here. Let me just share my screen as well. Okay. Alrighty. So we're going to be diving into sustainable systems blueprint. So this is just a little infographic of importance of systems, and you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And as you can see in this graph is that the goals, just trying to reach for them and trying to want them, just isn't going to be an effective way of reaching them. It's really having a system, or in this case, a ladder to climb and be able to make working smarter, not harder. So it's the same thing of like just trying to willpower your way to eating healthy or to working out when like technically you have the time to work out in the evening, but are you gonna have the bandwidth, or are you gonna have the energy to work out in the evening? Whereas if you get it done first thing in the morning and you have like your alarm clock across the room, you lay out your gym clothes the night before, so it forces you to get out of bed. You already got your workout stuff ready to go, and you can just dive right into your workout. Wouldn't that be a much better system than trying to just fit fitness into your schedule and trying to rely on your ability to remember to do it? Or for like your nutrition, trying to like have like having meal prep already ready to go and making the healthy food the more convenient option. Whereas if you just have a bunch of like chips and like a bunch of goodies, stuff that like maybe snacks for your kids that you're buying that are like readily available in your house, and it's the first thing that you see, and all the fruits and veggies are like in a drawer at the bottom of the fridge, and it like they're not even visible really, and it makes it that much more difficult to have the healthier food because it's not even like prepped or ready to go. And when you're really low energy and you're drained, the likelihood of you going for the less healthy option is going to increase if it's more convenient. And that's why it's important to have a solid amount of systems to create more consistency, predictability, and sustainability around your health and fitness. Systems thinking is a or systems thinking is a discipline for seeing wholes. It is a framework for seeing interrelationships rather than things, for seeing patterns of change, or rather than seeing things for patterns of change rather than seeing static snapshots. So I actually brought up a little definition just so that way it makes sense. So understanding systems thinking for like a sustainable, healthy lifestyle. So seeing the whole, so an integrated approach. Like instead of focusing only on like individual aspects like diet or exercise, consider the entire lifestyle. This includes like sleep, stress management, social support, and mental health. Like a busy mom who gets enough sleep, manages stress effectively, and has a supportive social network is more likely to stick to a healthy diet and regular exercise routine. And for a framework for seeing interrelationships, like connection of habits, like recognize how different habits and routines are interconnected with one another. Like, for example, how stress affects eating habits, or how the quality of sleep influences energy levels for workouts, increases ghrelin and lowers leptin. Like ghrelin is actually going to make you hungrier, whereas like leptin, it's actually the hormone that's going to tell you if you're satisfied and if you're full. So if you have increased ghrelin, you're going to be hungrier, and having decreased leptin, you're not going to know when you're satisfied. So you're just going to want to keep eating. So having a lack of sleep is going to make it so it's a lot easier to binge and just overeat. And then also, like when a mom prioritizes meal planning and preparation, it can reduce stress during meal times and lead to healthier food choices. Similarly, scheduling like regular workouts can improve sleep quality and overall energy levels. And a long-term perspective for like having patterns of change and making more of an identity shift. So like pay attention to how habits and behaviors evolve over time. Like identify pattern cycles, feedback loops that either support or hinder progress, just doing like overall assessments on a regular basis to better understand what the roadblocks are, what's preventing you from creating that consistency that you want to achieve. Like if a mom notices that she tends to skip workouts when she feels overwhelmed, she can develop strategies to manage stress better, like incorporating mindful practices or seeking support from friends or family or your friendly neighborhood coach to be able to give you that friendly kick in the ass to help you stay on track and make a huge difference. So yeah, we're going to be covering systems around nutrition, workouts, and mindset. So what happens if you don't develop systems? So we're going to go through some of the pitfalls and some of the things that will actually happen if you don't have systems. Because like a lot of you are probably like, oh, Alex, I can just willpower myself. I have the right mindset. I'm going to make it happen. And I mean, you might be able to do that for a short time. Absolutely. Totally. You freaking got this. But like doing it through the ups and downs when you're stressed out, when you have all like your kids, your partner, your work are all demanding your attention and what you like that they need you, the likelihood of you having the bandwidth and the energy to create true sustainability with no systems is slim to none. And this is a proven study. So first one, inconsistent habits, erratic schedule. Without setting without a set routine, it becomes difficult to maintain consistent eating, exercise, and sleep habits. So like having unplanned meals, or just having like a lack of meal planning can lead to unhealthy food choices, reliance on takeout, or skipped meals. Like the thing is, if you have nothing prepped, you have a really stressful, emotionally escalated day. By the time you get home, you're gonna have no bandwidth, you're gonna be drained, and if nothing's already ready to go, the likelihood is increased drastically of you ordering DoorDash or just having some chips out of the pantry. And then time management issues. So like overwhelm, juggling multiple responsibilities without a system can lead to feeling overwhelmed and unable to find time for self-care. Like if you have no time for yourself, you can't pour from an empty cup. You're eventually going to drain yourself, or you're not going to be showing up authentically 100% to the best of your ability. You're not going to be able to be there energetically for your kids, for your partner, for your work. I know personally, when I wasn't showing up for myself, I was like snapping at customers at my old job. I was on thin ice. I was getting in fights regularly with my partner because I was just overextended working 7 days a week and like not even really focusing on my sleep quality. So like that's why it's really important to make sure you're managing your time, using like a schedule, like a Google Calendar to manage your time. And I'm just blonde as heck. I just forget to do shit if I don't schedule my time. And last minute decisions. And oh, and by the way, for those of you that are watching the live right now, I cannot see the comments right now just because of how I have my setup. So if you have any questions, I'll definitely come back to them as we're going throughout this training, and do a Q&A at the end as well. And then last minute decisions. So like making decisions on the fly can result in poor time management and missed workouts or unhealthy meals. So one thing I would even like potentially do is like setting boundaries, like making sure like your partner, your kids, like your friends, your mom know that you have dedicated non-negotiable time, because you need that to be able to show up strong for everybody else. Like it's a necessity for you to be in a good headspace, to be energetically present, and be able to be the best version of yourself. Increased stress. So decision fatigue. Constantly having to make decisions about meals, workouts, and other daily activities can lead to decision fatigue and poor choices. So just like making sure that you're clear on what your path is, like what, instead of focusing on like 10 different things, like making sure that you're very clear on the path of like, this is the workout that I'm going to do. This is the plan that I'm going to follow for nutrition. I'm not going to try like fasting and keto and carnivore and like doing all these things all at the same time. And like without a system for managing stress, why can't I see this on my screen? Let's see here. Okay, there we go. So without a system for managing stress, it's harder to find time to unwind and relax. And also when you have higher cortisol levels, it's actually like your body actually starts to hold on to fat, and it actually affects your metabolism. So making sure you're managing your stress levels. Poor sleep quality. Irregular sleep patterns and inconsistent bedtime routines can disrupt sleep patterns, leading to insufficient rest, decreased energy levels. If you're trying to tone or get definition, when you're sleeping is when your body is recovering, when your body is rebuilding that muscle that you tore down during your strength training workout. So you can actually visibly see those glutes or those shoulders if you want to be able to build those up. And sleep disruptions, like without a proper wind down routine, it can be difficult to fall asleep and stay asleep. Like if you have no like evening routine to like wind yourself down, turn off screens, we're actually going to be going through some systems around that as well too. Decreased motivation, so like a lack of progress tracking. Without tracking, without like having a tracking system, it can be hard to see progress, which can decrease motivation and commitment as well. Like I have clients that feel super discouraged and they haven't taken progress pictures or measurements for a while. Then they go and take those progress pictures and those measurements, and they're like, holy shit, I look like a totally different person, and I'm super happy with my results, and like it sparked that motivation. It's a way of creating motivation. And tracking the amount of workouts that you did, like going from never doing workouts or barely doing workouts to doing like 50 workouts, 30 workouts, 100 workouts, and knowing where you're at and hitting those milestones. We have clients that are tracking it on like a fitness app, and they're hitting like 350, 400 workouts, and they're just freaking, it makes their day. And it makes them that much more excited to get after and continue going on this journey and continue that streak that they've been on. Not even just a streak, but like just being able to stay consistent enough where they can hit 400 workouts. Like that's freaking awesome. Even just hitting 100 workouts is a massive milestone. And then also just like tracking your inches. Like if you're very fixated on the scale and you're giving a lot of emotional energy to the scale, that's going to make it really difficult to create any kind of sustainability if you're trying to tone and change up body composition because you're going to lose inches. Some of the best transformations in our program, like for example, like within 4 months, we have our client Rosie. She lost like 10 pounds, but like lost like almost 20 inches, gained a bunch of muscle, lost a bunch of fat, looked like a totally different person. So it's also making sure that you're taking pictures and you're taking measurements and you're also focusing on like your energy levels. You're monitoring like how much better your mental health is. Like for me, I struggled with depression for a long time. So being able to feel happier and feeling more motivated and driven and feeling more confident, like those were huge measurables for me as well too. And then feeling discouraged. So like inconsistent habits and lack of visible progress can lead to discouragement and giving up on health goals. So like if I know that taking progress pictures is super uncomfortable. Like I got body dysmorphia. I actually hate taking progress pictures, but I know it's necessary. I know it's important for me to monitor my progress so I'm able to make the necessary adjustments, and also be able to create motivation, being like, oh, I didn't like, especially when you're getting in your own head and you're seeing yourself in the mirror every single day, it's really difficult to see progress every step of the way. Whereas like your mom or somebody that hasn't seen you for a while is definitely going to see that progress. But that's why it's important to compare them and like put them side by side and do that on a regular basis to show yourself evidence that you're moving in the right direction. We're very results driven creatures. So just having that as a tool to be able to create motivation, but then also notice maybe results aren't going as fast as you want them to. So then you can actually start to maybe decrease calories a little bit, or maybe do a little bit more activity, or bring a little bit more intensity to your workouts because you're not getting as toned or defined as you want. So maybe it'll actually spark some motivation and awareness to be like, oh, I haven't really been trying that hard with my workouts. I'm going to make sure I push myself with my next workout and bring that and challenge myself. Or I didn't realize like I wasn't losing fat as much as I am, and like I've been kind of falling off on the weekends, and like that creates a little bit more clarity. Like you're tracking your food potentially, and you're tracking that progress of noticing that like it's kind of all over the place. Then you can start to better understand what systems that you need to implement that's going to help you stay on track during the weekends and during the week, so that way you're able to create more sustainability and then get yourself to those results. So it's also about awareness. It's not even just about like seeing the progress, it's about just creating overall awareness. Oh, here's some more stuff. So inadequate support. So without a system for social support, it can be harder to stay motivated, accountable, which is where like coaches come in. So we're actually going to be launching I'm not going to give any information right now, but next month we're going to be launching a pretty awesome like program that's going to be super affordable and budget friendly, where you actually get an accountability coach as well too. So definitely, if you want some more information on that, just comment below me and I can reach out to you and give a little bit more information when we launch it this next month. Super excited about it, but don't want to give away too much. So social connections are crucial for encouragement and support and maintaining healthy habits. So like that's why we like, for example, like we have a community. Like within our Hanson Health Academy, we actually, like, for example, this weekend we're going for a hike. We do group classes. We have people that meet up. We have people that are friends that hang out together that are also holding them accountable, that are healthy, that are along the same journey of trying to get to that next level and creating the best version of themselves. I actually fly out to other areas almost like across the map that take me 12 to 24 hours to get there, just so I can be around people that make me want to level up. So it's also like being around the right support as well too, and understanding like, are they helping you or are they hindering you? Because I have people from high school that honestly weren't the greatest influences. They were drinking all the time. They weren't taking care of themselves. They weren't super healthy. So being able to be around the right people made a huge difference. And because the thing is, we start to think what's normal because of like our upbringing and the people that we're around. Whereas if you start to put yourself into a new cohort or a new group of people that have an elevated vibration, that are focused on like a vision and a goal and trying to like create something awesome, like you wouldn't believe the level of confidence and how much that makes you think outside the box to take it to that next level. And then mental health struggles, like increased anxiety. The chaos of an unstructured lifestyle with no systems can increase stress and anxiety levels and decreased self-esteem. So struggling to maintain healthy habits can negatively impact self-esteem and confidence and honestly self-respect. And you start to lose trust with yourself. And it's not even you. It's like not that you don't have the capabilities, you just don't have the right system. And a lot of you that are going into this being like, Alex, I tried systems, they didn't work, like there were some systems that didn't work for me. How long did you try them for, first of all? Like making sure you're doing them long enough to like making the necessary tweaks, trying it out for a longer period of time, that's doing it a couple of times, hoping that it's just gonna work out. Or testing different systems. Like if you try a system for a little bit and it just doesn't work for you, try another approach. Try it on a different day. Try it at a different time. Maybe try a completely different approach for the system. And or like maybe it's breaking it down into smaller steps that are more manageable. So that way you're able to feel a lot more, or it feels more actionable, and it's more simplified versus like this big daunting thing that you need to take action on. uh Actually, financial strain, this one, I was doing some research. So like unplanned expenses, so like frequent takeout or unhealthy convenience foods can add up financially. This is actually one of the pitfalls when I was like asking some other coaches and like looking into this while I was creating these slides. And with other grocery lists, it's easy to overspend on unnecessary items or make frequent trips to the store, which costs gas. It's gonna, like, you're gonna have to, like, you're gonna be getting a bunch of unnecessary things that you don't need. You might be overbuying, you might be underbuying, and you might, like, honestly, like if you don't have like a proper list or a proper system or plan for the week, you might have to end up ordering out because you didn't prep enough or you didn't get enough food as well too. So like getting this dialed in, that could actually help you with making less trips, spending less time on having to get groceries, being able to also prep things in bulk so it's ready to go, but then also not having to spend additional money that you don't have to spend. And also, if you eat a bunch of processed food, you're probably just going to feel like shit. So you don't want that. Nutritional challenges. So unhealthy eating habits, like without meal planning, it's easier to resort to convenient but unhealthy foods. And also skipping meals or not planning balanced meals can result in like nutrient deficiencies, like low energy, and like a bunch of deficiencies with like iron or like magnesium and like a lot of other things that are really essential in like your overall bodily function and your hormones as well too. Like that's going to make a massive difference. But also like depleting your metabolism as well. Like if you're trying to lose weight but you're just barely eating food throughout the day, like there's some people that come to me like where they're eating such a little amount, you'd think that they'd be able to lose weight, but because they've been eating for like they've been skipping meals and just drinking coffee and just having like little snacks throughout the day, and they're actually under eating, where the metabolism has like, it's called metabolism adaptation, where it actually starts to regulate towards the amount of calories that you're having. And you're not able to burn as much fat, and it's a very, very slow process where you're actually having to eat more food so that way you can lose more weight. You would be surprised how many people we have come into our program that have to eat more food to lose weight because you need to fuel your metabolism. And limited physical activity. So skipped workouts without scheduled workout times, exercise can easily be skipped due to other priorities. Like I'm just going to fit it in. I'm just going to try fit fitness into my schedule. You should be working your schedule around fitness because you're going to have more energy. You're going to be more focused. You're going to show up stronger as a mom. You're going to show up stronger as a partner for your work. And you're just going to be in a better headspace. Like it's a necessity. Your body is biologically designed to release endorphins. And there's actually scientific studies. Like personally for me, I struggle with depression. And scientific studies have proven just by contracting your muscles, you excrete protein into your bloodstream that actually counteracts depression. They call them hope molecules. And personally, like I know a lot of people have chemical imbalances. I know a lot of people do need medication, but personally, medication didn't work for me. It made me feel worse. I felt like a zombie. I went to therapy. It didn't really work that well for me. But doing exercise, it was a way for me to like manage my energy and be able to feel much better and elevated, which then has allowed me to take everything else to the next level in my life. So looking at it as a vehicle to creating the life that you deserve around all the other aspects. It's not just about looking good. It's not just about vanity. It's about like creating the best version of yourself. And then a lack of variety, like without planned exercise routine, it can be challenging to incorporate a variety of workouts that keep things interesting and effective. Also, the thing is, like you definitely want to have things that are interesting and effective. Like I like to go for bike rides, I like to go for hikes, I like to do disc golf, I like to do different activities. But if you're doing like a specific workout cycle and you're trying to tone and have definition, also to expect there will be a little bit of boredom with doing the same workouts over and over again for like a 12 to 16 week period, but having like some solid new workout music and like getting some new workout clothes like that, like doing that on a regular basis. I once a week go 30 minutes and go look for new workout music just to get myself amped and be like, I can't wait to listen to that song when I'm doing chest day. So this one is a solid system, a morning routine system. So having like the same wake up time, like set a consistent wake up time to regulate your body's internal clock. So you're not feeling groggy and like trying to drag your ass out of bed because you're waking up and sleeping at different times every single day. And hydration, like start the day out with a glass of water or even like 16 to 30 ounces, which is ideal. Just kickstart your metabolism. On an empty stomach, drinking water, you actually boost your metabolism up to like 25%, just like start off the day, just having a little bit more water in the morning. And just doing a quick workout, like incorporate like a short, effective workout, like 10 to 15 minutes of like yoga, stretching, a brisk walk. You could do like some HIIT training, like if you really want to get things moving. If you have time for a full workout, like I actually find when it comes to creating consistency around workouts, especially for moms, the amount of things that happen later in the day where like your kids need your attention, like random things come up, you have to put out a bunch of fires, and then like you're drained. So trying to like do it later in the day, it's not as accurate and consistent or predictable where it's going to allow you to continue to show up. Where like I would say getting it done in the morning and waking up a little bit early would probably actually be better to do your workout first thing in the morning, get it out of the way, start that day off with a win. Then you're more focused, you're sharper, and then you actually focus on your health more throughout the day because you started that day off focusing and prioritizing on your or prioritizing your health. And then a healthy breakfast, like plan a nutritious breakfast that has protein, fiber, and healthy fats to fuel your day. So because like especially with fiber and healthy fats, like it's basically like a natural coffee. Like you're gonna get some complex carbs, more glycogen, you're gonna get some healthy fats to like really fuel the fire. So like just like getting that going, like and making sure you're having some food in the morning can actually really help with your energy levels throughout the day. And then a morning routine system example. So like wake up at 6:30, drink a glass of water as soon as you wake up, do 10 minutes of HIIT or like resistance training or do some yoga, prepare some egg bites with a side of like fruit, like apple, avocado, raspberries for like some fiber. You could also do some overnight oats or something like that. Obviously there's a lot of different options that you can go for breakfast, but this is just a couple of examples. Hope you guys are liking this so far. I'm fired up, ready to give you guys some awesome systems. So meal planning and preparation systems. So like a weekly meal plan, like spend time each week planning meals that are nutritious and easy to prepare. For myself, I hate cooking. I personally don't like it at all. So I try to make it as easy as possible for myself to stay within my guidelines, but also to have to cook as little as possible. So when I say that, I cook 1 to 2 proteins, typically one, I like ground beef. Love me some ground beef. So I just cook a whole tub of ground beef, which lasts me like 5 days, sometimes 4 days. And I'll freeze some more in the freezer. And then I'll get other pantry fridge oriented ingredients that are associated with that ground beef. So I can even get like some egg noodles, which are like high in protein. So I can make some spaghetti. I get some spaghetti sauce. I'll get like some veggies and just like have them readily available in the fridge and just cut them up and throw them into the spaghetti, which takes me a couple of seconds. And then I also have like nachos or tacos, and then like I just have some salsa, I have some cheese. Then it's all ready to go. And then I just have some ready to go fruits. I have Greek yogurt, and I'll get like non-fat, plain protein, high protein Greek yogurt, which is super high in protein, high satiety, but not like at the point of this system. And then I get like a bunch of frozen blueberries, which don't go bad. So I can just throw them right into the bowl. I have like a scoop of protein powder that I put into it, mix it all together, good to go. So like it's very little cooking, and I just try to think about how I can make it as easy as possible, but still hit my targets at the same time. But for you, like you got obviously you guys have like kids and stuff like that, and you want to make a little bit more variety. So maybe you want to prep for like 3 days in advance, so you're not having to like prep the entire week. So that might feel a little bit daunting as well too. And grocery list, like make a comprehensive grocery list based on your meal plan to avoid last minute unhealthy choices. So making sure you have a solid grocery list of exactly what you need and don't get anything outside of it. I even like to go on the outside part of the grocery store, even go to a new grocery store that I don't know where anything is, because then I'm forced to have to go directly to those healthy options or the things on my grocery list, and I'm not really buying anything outside of it. And then batch cooking. So like setting some time to like batch cook and prep ingredients, like even just like cutting up some veggies and just like having that in some clear containers, like cooking some meat, and then you can just like put it together when you're actually like making like when you're having the meal a little bit later. Like it doesn't have to be all weighed out and like portioned immediately. Like that's why it's important to test different strategies and systems. Because for some people, they like to have it all portioned out and it just eliminates everything. But for me personally, I don't even really like doing that. I just like to cook a bunch of meat all at once and have other pantry and fridge oriented ingredients. Some people like to prep everything, but only do it for half the week, because doing all the week sounds like a little bit too much. So again, everybody's a little bit different. Everybody's going to approach this differently, and making sure that you understand that testing strategies is a very big important part of this journey. And healthy snacks, like preparing and portion healthy snacks to have on hand, reducing temptations of healthy options. Like I would say like beef jerky, like you could get like some crackers and some tuna or some salmon, for example, get some protein bars, trying to get that kind of stuff, getting some high satiety, like getting like fruits if you can, or like veggies if you have access, like if you have access to a fridge, getting some other things, just like bringing your prep meals with you, of course, and just like, but if you want things that are on the go, I think those would be the best options. So like a good meal planning system example, so weekly meal plan, like plan meals every Sunday. Like Sunday I feel like is like the go-to time when everybody's prepping for the entire week. I personally love doing it on Sundays as well too. And creating a list based on the meal plan that you're creating for the week. A big batch of like quinoa, grilled chicken, roast vegetables for the week. I personally really love potatoes because they're high in micronutrients and they're the most high volume, high satiety foods that's going to fill you up the most. And you can just throw it right into the air fryer. That's one of my favorites. And you can just like get like a slap chop and just boom, just like good to go. And then healthy snacks, like prepare portioned bags of nuts cut up and like veggies and like hummus and stuff like that. Like that would be like a great snack as well. Or if you like peanut butter, like get some powdered peanut butter that's like low calorie and like have that ready to go with some water. You actually have some apple and peanut butter, but like have like low calorie peanut butter. Or if you're on like you're trying to put on muscle right now and you're not trying to cut fat, get some actual peanut butter. And like a stress management system. So mindful practices like integrate mindfulness techniques like meditation, deep breathing, or journaling into your daily routine, like relaxation techniques, like practice relaxation methods such as like reading, taking a bath, like listening to music to unwind. Like I personally love having like a nice hot bath and getting some of those bubbles, like serenade myself a little bit, you know? And then also like reading a good self-development book. Honestly, I love reading self-development books from other entrepreneurs and people that I want to be like, because then they have really good mindset shifts that makes me think differently and want to take things to the next level and just gets me excited about new information and things that I can apply to my life and help other people with as well too. And then social support. So maintaining like strong social support network by scheduling a regular catch ups with friends, family, like either like with in person or virtually with your coach potentially as well. Um, Exercise routine systems examples. So like mindful practices, integrating like mindful techniques into your daily routine to help manage stress, like 10 minutes of like meditation in the morning or like deep breathing exercise. I personally love deep breathing because you can do it in the middle of the day when you're stressed out. Like one of my favorites is like breathing in heavily through the nose, waiting for 7 seconds and like letting it go into your gut and like belly breathing. And then basically after the 7 seconds, just like exhaling it as fast as you can and doing that like 4 to 8 times. And like, man, like I feel elevated. I feel like anxiety just come off of my body and I'm way more like energetically and just grounded and ready to get after it and able to deal with more stressful situations. Doing like gratitude stuff. I personally love doing some yoga as well. Like we got our local hot springs here for those that are Yukoners that are watching it, or if you have like a hot springs or wherever you live as well. Um, Also relaxation techniques. So practicing relaxation methods to help unwind, reduce stress levels, reading a book, taking a warm bath, listening to calming music, or any other ones that you can think of. Sleep hygiene system. So like consistent bedtime, establish like a consistent bedtime to ensure you get enough sleep every night. Because again, like I've had clients where like they don't know why they can't lose weight and like like they have a really good nutrition plan, workout plan, like they're a very like driven person, but they're getting like 4 to 5 hours of sleep. And like their ghrelins through the roof, their leptin's decreased, they're just freaking ravenous and want to eat everything. So making sure you're getting sufficient sleep will help with recovery, which will help with toning and definition and helping with your metabolism. And then also making sure that you're not freaking ravenous and hangry and want to eat everything all day. And a sleep environment. So create a restful sleep environment by keeping your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet and avoiding screens before bed. It's going to stimulate your brain. It's going to make it really difficult to get to sleep and like also get a good quality of sleep because it's tricking your brain into thinking that you're awake. And then getting like a solid wind down routine that includes calming activities like reading, gentle stretching to signal that your body is time to sleep. I like having like a nice hot bath, gets me nice and relaxed. But yeah, here's like a little exercise routine if you guys want to screenshot that. But like establish a consistent bedtime to regulate your body's internal clock, ensure adequate sleep, go to bed at 10 p.m. every night, avoid screens 30 minutes before bed, create a relaxing pre-sleep ritual, create like a solid sleep environment, a good wind down routine. So that way you're prepped and you're ready to go. Like you can even like if you're stuck with watching Netflix, you can actually turn on parental controls to make it so it turns off or like have your internet turn off at a certain time. So it's like a signal. Actually put some time into your schedule to make sure that you wind down and you have like a visual cue that you have time allocated for to make sure that you're going to bed on time. So a tracking and reflection system. So like journaler app, like use a journaler app to track your habits, workouts, meals, and mood. Like workouts and meals for sure. Cause like just understanding that you're getting stronger with your workouts and that you're bringing more intensity on a week-to-week basis. That's what's going to help you tone. That's what's going to help you get definition and hit those PRs, hit those personal records. And then also for meals, understanding like, oh, I don't really eat anything throughout the day. And like, I just eat a bunch of shitty food in the evening. Maybe I should eat a little bit more throughout the day so I'm not ravenous by the time I get home. Or I eat great during the week, but on the weekend, I'm not eating super great. So then you start to plan and prep a little bit more for the weekend and stay on track. Because again, it's like what we call don't be a 57 percenter. Where Monday to Thursday, you're hitting everything super well. Then you get to Friday, you're like, oh, I deserve a drink. I deserve to go out for some food. And then you end up going a little bit overboard on Friday. Saturday, you sleep in, you don't really have anything planned or prepped. You have no system for the weekend. So you're letting the day control you versus controlling the weekend. So then you're just eating whatever you really feel like. If somebody asks you to go out for dinner, go out for drinks, you're a lot more susceptible just to saying yes because you have nothing planned or prepped or no system that you're intentionally implementing going into the weekend, which then Saturdays goes off completely. Sundays typically around the same approach and you're frantically trying to get your shit together to get back on track for Monday. And before you know it, everything like Friday, Saturday, Sunday's thrown off when you're only hitting 57% of what you should be hitting on a regular basis. And if you got 57% on your math test, would your mom really be super happy with that? Probably not. Make sure you're hitting at least 80%. And then reflect and adjust. So regularly reviewing your progress, identify patterns, make necessary adjustments to your routines and systems. Testing, tweaking, making adjustments, changing the time that you're doing it, breaking it into smaller, more manageable steps so you can implement and it's more actionable. Because if it's not actionable, you're just going to get overwhelmed and shut down and not want to do anything. And then also understanding that, oh, like I'm tracking my progress, but it's kind of getting stagnant. It's not moving in the right direction the way that I intended. I'm going to start making some adjustments where I get some extra steps in. Instead of doing 8K steps, I'm going to do 10K steps. Instead of having like 1,500 calories a day, I'm going to have 1,450 every single day to like slowly decrease my calories so I can start getting the weight loss going again. Or I'm not really seeing the toning and the definition. I'm not really getting as strong. I'm going to make sure I push myself a little bit more with my workouts and get stronger next week. Set realistic and specific goals. So breaking them down into smaller, manageable steps and celebrate your progress along the way. Like it's so important to celebrate your progress. Like we're very hard on ourselves all the time, especially like you guys for moms. Like most of you guys are moms and you're so tough on yourselves all the time. And if you don't celebrate wins and you're just focused on the things that you need to improve, you're going to get discouraged. You're going to get in your own head and you're going to allow these like one slip up to throw off the rest of the week where you're like, oh, I might as well just get back on track on Monday. When like, honestly, that one slip up wouldn't have done anything if you didn't allow it to affect your decisions moving forward. That's where the problem lies. It's how you're celebrating wins and like managing and also being able to break things into smaller steps so that way you can take action and like it's less overwhelming, but also understanding the progress that you have made. So like for tracking and reflection system, so like use like a journal or an app to track your habits, workouts, meals, and mood. Like MyFitnessPal, like Fitbit, a dedicated health journal. MyFitnessPal, it's great. Eat This Much is also pretty great as well too. Reflect and adjust or review your progress, identify what's working, what isn't, make necessary adjustments to your routines and systems. So like set aside 10 minutes every Sunday to review your journal or app entries, note any challenges, and plan adjustments for the upcoming week. And then set goals. Like for an example, set realistic and specific goals, like breaking them down into smaller, manageable steps. Celebrate your progress along the way. Make sure you're using the SMART method. So specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Timely. Yes. For like a due date of when it's supposed to happen. So yeah, or time bound, and reward yourself for achieving milestones. So it's like, oh, I'm down 5 pounds. I'm feeling a little bit better into my jeans. That's a huge milestone. Or like, I'm able to lift 100 pounds with deadlifts or something like that. That's a freaking huge milestone. That's awesome. You hit 50 workouts, you hit 30 workouts, you hit your first workout. Celebrate that. Like progress is still progress, no matter how small. So action steps. I would love for everybody in the comment section, put whatever your action step is, whether it's like a small step. So focus on baby steps over no steps. And as you're going into it, remember progress isn't linear. Like there's going to be many ups and downs, highs and lows along the way. Progress is progress, no matter how big or how small. The important thing is to keep moving forward. So start small. Choose like one or two small changes to implement at a time, such as optimizing your morning routine with a quick workout, or having water, or winding down earlier to like get a little bit more sleep. Like you don't have to implement everything that we talked about. Just take some small steps from this. Awesome. I'd love to get like a Q&A as well. Let's pull this up here. Okay. If I can see it. Well, anybody that has any questions about anything, feel free to put them in the comments. More than happy to answer anything. And I think that was honestly super valuable. Like, thanks for everybody that joined and checked this out. Let's freaking crush it this week. And I'll talk to you guys soon.